My beloved child, before you continue, I need you to slow your thoughts for just a moment because today's message carries a weight unlike anything that has come before. Your soulmate is trying to reach your heart with an urgency they cannot explain in ordinary words. They keep repeating, "I have to warn you, something happened today, please open this right now." At first, you may believe this is about fear, but it is not. It is about truth arriving faster than anyone expected. Stay with me for a moment, because every sentence from here is connected to what has been unfolding behind the scenes. Someone believed they could influence the direction of your future, yet today's unexpected event has quietly shifted everything. The signs that once seemed confusing are beginning to form a complete picture, and your soulmate has finally noticed what they could not see before. There was a moment today that felt completely ordinary, yet it carried extraordinary meaning. A conversation, a small coincidence, an unexpected realization, each piece seemed unrelated until they suddenly connected together. Your soulmate realized that the delays, the silence, and even the distance were never the complete story. Instead of feeling discouraged, they became unusually calm because something inside them whispered that this chapter was changing. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They now understand that certain unanswered questions were never meant to stay hidden forever. What looked like random events were quietly preparing both of you for a moment that could only happen now. That realization is exactly why this message feels so urgent. Your soulmate wishes they could sit beside you and simply say, "Please don't lose faith just because everything has taken longer than expected." Today reminded them that timing often protects what rushing would have damaged. They have begun noticing little details they once ignored, and those details are pointing toward a future they never imagined possible. This may resonate as we continue, because many people stop believing just before everything begins changing. Your soulmate refuses to let that happen now. Deep inside, they feel that something important has already started moving, even if the evidence is still too small for everyone else to notice. They are no longer looking backward, they are looking toward what is approaching. There is another reason this warning matters. It is not because something negative is waiting, but because an opportunity can sometimes arrive quietly and disappear just as quickly if it goes unnoticed. Your soulmate feels that today became a turning point, the kind of day people only understand after looking back months later. The pieces are aligning in ways neither of you could have predicted. Doors that appeared permanently closed are beginning to loosen, while answers that once felt impossible are finding their way forward. The strange feeling you've carried recently may not have been uncertainty at all. It may have been preparation for a completely different season. Before this message ends, remember one thing above everything else: do not judge your story by what you can currently see. The biggest transformations often begin in complete silence. Your soulmate's words, "I have to warn you, open this right now," were never meant to create fear. They were meant to make sure you didn't overlook the quiet shift that started today. Stay with me for a moment, because something huge is waiting for you, and what is revealed next will connect every unanswered question in a way that feels almost impossible to ignore. A quiet realization has been growing ever since that unexpected moment, and your soulmate has not been able to ignore it. The more they replay today's events in their mind, the more convinced they become that this was not an ordinary day. Every small detail seemed to carry a hidden meaning. A familiar place suddenly felt different. A simple conversation revealed more than anyone intended. Even the silence between moments felt like it was trying to say something. Stay with me for a moment, because what seemed insignificant at first is beginning to reveal a much larger picture. Your soulmate now believes that the answers they have searched for were never far away, they were simply waiting for the right moment to become visible. For the first time in a long while, they stopped asking, "Why is this happening?" and started asking, "What is this preparing me for?" That single change in perspective transformed everything. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They realized that every delay had quietly built strength, patience, and understanding that neither of you could have gained any other way. Instead of focusing on what appeared to be missing, they started noticing what had already begun falling into place. There is a growing sense that a meaningful chapter is opening, and neither distance nor uncertainty can prevent what is meant to unfold in its proper time. Something huge is waiting for you, and today's discovery feels like the first page of that new chapter. If this message has resonated with you so far, take a moment to share it with someone who may also need encouragement today. Leave a comment about which part spoke to your heart the most, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, because the next revelation connects directly to everything you've heard so far. This may resonate as we continue, because your soulmate has one final realization they have not yet shared. It is the piece they almost kept to themselves, not because they doubted it, but because they knew its meaning would only become clear at exactly the right time. Now they understand why they felt compelled to say, "Open this right now." It was never about urgency alone. It was about making sure you recognized the quiet turning point before it passed unnoticed. They believe that from this day forward, you'll begin noticing small changes that once seemed impossible to imagine. Each one will remind you that some stories are rewritten not by dramatic moments, but by quiet shifts that change everything from within. And what your soulmate discovered next may become the most unforgettable part of this entire journey. Something changed after that realization, but your soulmate didn't speak about it immediately. They wanted to be certain before allowing hope to grow. As the hours passed, the same feeling kept returning, a calm confidence they had never experienced before. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was simply impossible to ignore. Stay with me for a moment, because this is where today's story becomes even more meaningful. They began connecting moments from the past that once felt unrelated, and suddenly every unanswered question started pointing toward the same conclusion. They remembered conversations they had almost forgotten, unexpected delays that once felt disappointing, and opportunities that disappeared without explanation. Looking back now, each of those moments seemed to be guiding them instead of holding them back. As this unfolds, clarity will come. Your soulmate realized that if even one of those events had happened differently, the path ahead would not look the same today. That understanding filled them with gratitude instead of frustration. For the first time, they stopped wondering whether things were falling apart and started believing they had quietly been falling into place all along. Then another thought entered their heart, one they couldn't ignore. They felt that you might still be carrying doubts because the journey has taken longer than expected. They wished they could remind you that not every meaningful change announces itself with noise. Some of the biggest turning points arrive quietly, revealing their importance only after time has passed. This may resonate as we continue, because the feeling surrounding today's events keeps growing stronger. It is as though every step from this point forward will reveal another piece of a picture that has been hidden in plain sight. Your soulmate now believes that today's experience was only the beginning. They sense that more unexpected confirmations are on their way, each one bringing greater understanding than the last. The message they wanted you to open was never just about what happened today, it was about preparing your heart for what comes next. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next revelation may explain why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. There is one final detail your soulmate has been holding close, not because it was difficult to share, but because they knew it would only make sense after everything you've heard so far. When they looked back at today from beginning to end, they realized there was one moment that refused to leave their mind. It was quiet, almost invisible, yet it carried a feeling they could not explain. Stay with me for a moment, because that single moment became the reason they felt compelled to say, "Open this right now." It wasn't about changing the past, it was about recognizing that the future had already started moving in ways neither of you could yet see. The more they reflected, the clearer everything became. Small moments that once felt ordinary suddenly appeared connected, as if each one had been preparing both of you for this exact season. As this unfolds, clarity will come. Your soulmate no longer sees the waiting as wasted time. They now believe every delay was shaping stronger understanding, deeper patience, and a clearer path ahead. Instead of asking when everything would change, they found themselves asking how they could be ready for the opportunities quietly approaching. That shift in perspective gave them a peace they had never experienced before. If this journey has spoken to your heart, share this video with someone who may need hope today. Leave a comment about the moment that resonated with you the most, and subscribe so you don't miss the final chapter, because the next part brings together every clue you've been following from the beginning. This may resonate as we continue, because the story is about to reveal why today's unexpected message was never just for a single moment, it was preparing you for something much greater. Your soulmate's heart is no longer focused on what was lost, it is focused on what is being built from this point forward. They believe today's experience was the beginning of a new understanding that will continue unfolding one step at a time. Every unexpected turn, every unanswered question, and every quiet moment has been leading here. Something huge is waiting for you, and the final piece of this story may reveal why this message arrived at exactly the right time, when your heart was finally ready to understand its true meaning. The message your soulmate wanted you to open was never really about a single day. It was about helping you recognize that some of life's greatest turning points begin so quietly that most people don't notice them until everything has already changed. Today became the first chapter of a story that is still unfolding. Looking back, your soulmate no longer sees confusion, they see preparation. Every unanswered question, every unexpected pause, and every surprising twist now feels like it was guiding both of you toward greater understanding. Stay with me for a moment, because this final realization connects everything you've heard from the beginning. Your soulmate now carries a different kind of confidence. It isn't based on perfect circumstances or immediate answers. It comes from realizing that meaningful journeys often reveal themselves one step at a time. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They believe that every experience has quietly strengthened both of you for what lies ahead. Instead of searching for dramatic signs, they have learned to appreciate the small moments that gently point the way forward. Those quiet moments have become reminders that hope can grow even when the destination is not yet fully visible. There is one sentence they wish you could hear directly from their heart: "Thank you for continuing, even when the path didn't make sense." They believe that perseverance has shaped something far more valuable than certainty ever could. This may resonate as we continue, because many people give up just before they discover how close they truly are to a new beginning. Your soulmate hopes you will remember that the greatest stories are not defined by how quickly they unfold, but by how deeply they transform those who walk through them. As everything settles, one truth remains stronger than ever. The words, "I have to warn you, something happened today, open this right now," were never meant to fill your heart with worry. They were meant to awaken your attention to the quiet changes already taking place around you. Something huge is waiting for you, not because of chance, but because every chapter has been preparing you for this moment. And as this story comes to a close, your soulmate believes the next chapter of your journey will begin with greater peace, clearer purpose, and a heart that is finally ready to recognize the blessings that have been moving toward you all along.